All right, so Dr. Weaving, since the last time we met, I have a few students who wanted to ask a couple of questions, so I wanted to bring them to you and hear your expert opinion on them.
Okay.
So one of the first ones, Jenna says that she doesn't want to get bulky, so she doesn't lift weights. She doesn't think that that's all important. She just wants to do some cardio exercises, and she stays fit that way. Is that completely appropriate?
Whether you're a girl who doesn't want to look bulky or you're a boy who wants to be more bulk, doing cardio and weight training is very important. To do cardio, you're using your muscles, and so you need to have that underlying muscle tone from weight training that to help make you better at your cardio. If you love to run, you want to also weight train because you need those muscles to be strong, and you're using your muscles when you're doing cardio. And the same goes for boys who want to be bulky. You need to lift weights, but cardio is also important because it's good for your heart and it's good for delivering oxygen, improving your body's ability to deliver oxygen to the muscles that you want to work. Now there are ways with weight training that you can be more lean. You'd want to lift less weight and do more repetitions. It gives you that longer, leaner look, and really focus on when you're doing the exercise to go through the whole range of motion in your muscle so it gets stretched out to the max and then together. Whereas if you do want more of a bulk, you do want to lift heavier, safely but heavier, and maybe not do as many reps because you're not going to be able to lift that weight as many times. So both are very important and crucial in a full exercise program.
Okay, great. And so the next question, Stephen, okay, he put that bike helmets really aren't something he really likes to wear. They're kind of uncool. So when he is ripsticking or biking just around his neighborhood, does he really have to wear his helmet? Is it really that big of a deal?
Yes, yes, yes. Helmets, although they might not be the coolest item of clothing, they're there to protect your head. And you want to always protect your head because your head holds your brain, which allows you to go to school, which allows you to think, which allows you to do things that you might not even think about doing, like walking and talking. And I've worked with patients who have not worn helmets, whether it be on motorcycles, whether it be on bicycles. And when you injure your brain, it's severe injury and it can alter your life. So it's very important to always protect your head, no matter how uncool it may look. Even if you know you're going to be safe, accidents happen. You can't control if a dog comes running in front of you and you trip or something happens or you hit your head on a mailbox or a car comes by. You can't control what's going to happen around you. It's always important to protect your head. And regarding helmets, it's always important to wear them properly. Just having it on your head and having the strap loose around your neck, that's not going to protect your head if you do require the helmet if you hit your head. So you want to make sure it's fitted properly, that there's no cracks in the helmet on the top, because your brain is one of your most important assets and you want to protect that.
And our last question for today comes from Brian, and he just got a new family gym membership. Okay. He's never really done a workout program before, so he was just planning on looking at the pictures on the machines,
okay,
and watching the people in gym to do the free weights.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good way to start your workout program? Does he have to worry about anything?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most common ways people come in and injure themselves is because they're trying something new and their bodies weren't ready for it, or they weren't using proper form and they weren't educated enough on how to perform something. So it's really important, if you are going to a gym, there are trainers there. Use your trainers. You're paying for them with your membership. Make sure you're doing things properly. And just because one person might be doing something one way, might not be the way that you need to do it, because all of our bodies are different. We each are able to move and bend in different ways. Some of us are more flexible than others, so we might be able to go lower into a squat, whereas someone else might not be able to, and they're going to try and compensate and use their back. And that could lead to problems down the line. And you might not feel it right away when you're young, but I promise you, I have patients come in all the time who used to do weightlifting when they were younger and they weren't using proper form, and they're starting to pay the price as they get older. So it's really important the pictures are a good guide, but it's really important to make sure that you know how to do something. And when you're starting an exercise program, make sure you're using low weight or even no weight at first, and just go over how to do the motion. Make sure there's no twinge or you're not feeling anything go wrong before you add that weight, because it's only going to get worse the more weight you add. So ask questions, ask your trainers at the gym, and just listen to your body. That's really what's important. It's okay to be a little bit uncomfortable when you're exercising, that muscle weakness, tiredness, fatigue. But if something hurts, you need to listen to your body and stop before it gets worse. Don't just keep brushing it off saying, oh, exercise is supposed to hurt. It's not supposed to hurt. You're supposed to feel it, but it's not supposed to be painful. So make sure you listen to your body, to those signs and symptoms, so you guys don't end up in my office one day.
All right, and then just the last question from Katie. She just wanted to know, just in your line of work, what are some of the most common injuries for girls?
For girls, athletic girls, it's very common to have ligament tears, as well as, each sport's different, but ligament tears are very common. Low back pain is very common, and females are just built differently than males, with the pelvis being a little wider. So there's an angle which makes ACLs and knee injuries very common in females, because of the way our hips are set a little wider than a male's. It kind of already puts a little bit of torque on that knee joint. So it's really important to make sure all the muscles surrounding your hips, your quads, your hip abductors, your knee flexors, your hamstrings, that those are all strong, because they all come down and they support that knee joint. And just making sure you're wearing proper shoes, and not trying to make that, say you're playing basketball, that the floor is not wet so you're slipping and adding any torque to those knees. That's undue stress. And low back pain with males and females, it's really important to do a lot of core work, because low back pain can be very debilitating and can be easily fixed if you have a strong core, so it's not putting as much stress on your spine, that you really work those muscles that kind of help protect your spine. So planks are great for core and back exercises. Crunches do a decent job, but make sure you do them properly, and really just maintaining a good strength. And this goes back to the question regarding weight training. That's why we want to weight train, whether you're male or female, because you want a strong base in order to perform and be that most healthy that you can be.